Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we will finish with our second unit, which is titled Take My Advice. Our lesson today is the project and the self-reflection lesson in your books, page 30 and 31. All you need for the lesson today is your books, page 30 and 31, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. So let's get started. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to prepare a poster presentation on a Saudi organization. Then you will be able to fill a self-reflection form. Okay. At the beginning here, we're going to come up with a poster. What is a poster? It is actually a printed paper, a big one, a printed one. It could be a size A1 or A0. So it is not just like a sheet of paper, no, a big one with all the information, and this time we're going to speak about a Saudi organization. How can I come up with a poster? If you want to come up with your own poster, at the beginning you have to choose a Saudi organization, which is the theme or our topic. Our topic is a Saudi organization. Think about one. Which one do you want to speak about? Then you will come up with collecting and gathering information. What am I going to present? Am I going to speak about, let's say, the building, describing the building, or about the function, what it does? Then, number 3, you will start preparing your poster. Gathered information, now you can put them down. How am I going to present it? In a graphic organizer, or you're going to come up with a mind map. You will come with your own ideas. And by the end, number 4, it is the time, the day of the presenting. Maybe it will be a gallery walk. Then you will go into there and you will start presenting it. Let's take these steps one by one. At the beginning, you will choose a Saudi organization. Have you thought about any Saudi organization that will bring or gives a service to the community? For me, I have chosen something that is Saudi, something that provides a service. It serves the community, Saudi people or those who lives in Saudi Arabia, and something I have access to. So I can gather the information. I don't want something that I can't speak about. So then I will collect the information. What kind of information do I need? Where can I get this information? Where do you usually, if you're having a project or you're going to present about a certain topic, where can you find your information? I will browse the internet. I can find information in books or newspapers, as well as I can talk to adults. Anyone, ask a friend, parent, or a teacher. And you can call the organization itself. However, you have to make sure that the information that you find is always reliable, it is true and I can trust, and also interesting. Know your audience, who's going to read your poster or who it will be presented to. Would they like it or they won't like it? Then we will come up here with the name of the organization. For me, I have chosen to speak about King Fahd National Library. This is the logo, and the official name is King Fahd National Library. Then the service that it provides. The service is reading, research, and education. If you want to read, make a research, or you want to add to your information, just go to King Fahd National Library. Where is it? Location? It is in Riyadh. When it was started, we'll speak about the history. So we will say it started in 1986. Why the community needs it? Why is it important? I would say because it raises awareness, it adds to people's awareness. Also, it spreads positive messages. It will tell people about the good things in the community. Also, it provides us with free reading. Whoever wants to read, just head to the King Fahd National Library. Now, I will start preparing my poster. I will start doing my poster. What are the things that you have to think about? Maybe you have to think about it should be a good looking one. I don't want it just to write the information, no. Think about a creative idea, a good idea to present your information. Think about the theme at the beginning, then how am I going to present it? Will it look like a story, a graphic organizer, or just like pictures? Then think about the colors. What colors are you going to write with? Maybe it is a good idea to use the green and the gold colors. Then, as well as the font. The font, when you are writing, try to make it as big as possible so people can read it. Clear, bright colors, not yellow, so they won't be able to read them. By the end, you will get to the last part or the last step, which is presenting it. When it is the presentation day, you are going to prepare well for the presentation day. So read the whole thing, so in case someone would ask you, you will know what to say. And also, make sure that you paste it or add it in a very good place so everyone can come and see your poster and your hard work. Think about the organization and prepare your own poster. How about the second part? In your book's page 31, we're having the self-reflection part. What do we mean when we say self-reflection? Now it is your time, not the teacher's time, to tell yourself how good you are doing within this unit. So self-reflection it's a way of assessing yourself, your ways of working, and how you study. Am I doing well, or I need to practice more? You are the one who will tell yourself the truth. So when I say reflect, it means to think about your learning and your improvement. Think back. How did I do in the discussion lesson? How did I do in the grammar, the form, meaning, and function, and all of these? Did I do well? So I am going to get a good mark. Let's take them in here. What have we taken so far in this unit? Flip through the pages from the beginning until today's lesson. What have we taken so far? Let's brainstorm ideas. We can tell we have spoken about problems and advice. An issue, then advice. We have discussed clues with when. And also, we've spoken about quantifiers, expressions for quantity. Also, we've spoken about advice letter, how to write an advice letter. Also, we've discussed multi-word verb, 2-word verb and 3-word verb, like put up, give up. Then, had better for forming advice, and modal auxiliary for one function, which is giving an advice. Think about the idea in here. If I will ask you, which one was the most interesting? We're not speaking about difficult or easy, no. Something you liked the most. For me, maybe I will say, I liked the idea of replying to a letter with writing advice, so a letter of advice. How about something that it wasn't difficult, however, I didn't like the idea? Maybe the 2-3-word verbs. Choose anything depending on your preference. How about something that you will say, that was a piece of cake, that was easy, which are, it could be the pronunciation part, or it could be the idea of the quantifiers. How about something that you will say, no, this thing is a bit challenging and I need to study more. Choose any one of these, the thing that you believe that it is a bit challenging or hard for you, and you will write it down. Okay. Now, in this unit, we have discussed many things. At the beginning, on page 18, we have discussed some common problems. Can you remember any of the problems that we've discussed together? We've spoken about getting along with friends. Someone who feels lonely. I can't get along in a new school. No one talks to me. I feel alone or lonely. Also, weight control. Some people are underweight and anorexic, they avoid food, and other people can't resist food and they eat too much junk food. Overweight and underweight. Also, we've discussed the idea of keeping fit. And we said fitness is to be strong and healthy with a good body, a good looking body. Then we've discussed on page 20 how to ask and give advice. I will show you a problem, then we will try to come up with the advice. This boy will tell us about his problem. What should I do to lose weight? I am overweight and I consume too much junk food. What can I do? What should I do? Asking for advice. What advice would you give him? For me, I will tell him, you ought to exercise. Ought to. And also, you shouldn't eat a lot of junk food. Let's highlight the verbs in here. Notice the verb is exercise, the base form, and here we're having eat. It's not ate in the past, it's not eating or eats. So the base form of the verb. Someone else is having a problem in here. She is, what would she tell us? I am feeling depressed and I don't know what to do. What should I do? I feel sad, I feel down. What would we tell her? I will tell her, you had better see a psychologist or a psychiatric to ask someone for help. And also, you could keep up with social activities even if you don't feel like it. So, had better see and keep up. It is not keeps or keeping, keep up. The base form of the verb. Then on the same page here, using modal auxiliaries, let's look into the picture and I want you to come up with your advice. The picture shows us in here, the weather is too cold today. What should I do? I will tell, you ought to wear a warm jacket. Ought to. Also, you ought not to go out. Notice the negative. You ought not to go out. Stay at home. And the verb is wear and go, the base form of the verb. Another issue in here, we're having a test paper, and he got an F here. F, it means that he failed. What should I do? Can you give him advice? I will tell him that you should study harder, study more. Also, you shouldn't waste time. Notice the negative, shouldn't. The base form of the study, the verb study and the verb waste. Not studying or studied, not wasting or wasted. Okay? These they are. Then we've spoken about the idea of using had better for advice. Here we will read the situation, then you will use had better. Umar has become a very aggressive driver. He drives aggressively. I am afraid he's going to cause an accident one of these days. What would we tell Umar? We will say that you had better stop being aggressive. Had better is actually the modal auxiliary here. So we will use had better stop doing something. We went shopping a few days ago and bought all kinds of things, but forgot to buy the things we need the most in the house. So I forgot some items that I need from the grocery or from when I went back shopping. What would we tell? Let's use had better. You had better write a shopping list. So we have used had better and the base form of the verb write. You had better write. Okay? The following, using 2 or 3 word verbs. Here we're having the meanings and you will come up with the particle plus the other one, which is the verb. What can you come up with a 2 or 3 word verb, which means to stop doing something? It means to give up. Give up junk food. Give up smoking. How about postpone? I will do it later. Postponing is to put off. I will do it later. discard, throw. So, throw away. If you don't need it, just throw it away. To be friendly with someone, to be friendly, get along with. I can't be friendly to someone. I can't get along with someone. Refuse, say no. We will say turn down. I offered them a ride to the house, however, they turned down the offer. To begin, start, is to take up a sport. How about accepting a bad situation? It's bad, but it's okay. I will endure it. I will say to put up with. Putting up with something is, it's not so good, but it's okay. I will manage. Okay? Let's continue in here. Now we're having put off, taking up, and turning down. We will use them here in to complete these sentences. We had to the meeting because many people were sick. We have to, maybe we will do it later. So here, to put off the meeting. We will postpone it. Listen to my offer before you say no. I promise it's a good one. Saying no or refusing it before you turn it down. Notice that we have used the object here because it's a pronoun in the middle. He stopped playing golf and riding. He says it has changed his life. Started now when he took up riding. He took it up. He started another sport. Okay, then we've spoken about the use of quantity expressions and question words on page 28, which was the form, meaning, and function. We have divided them into whether the count or the non-count nouns. Countable nouns that we can use S and put numbers with, and the non-count nouns. What are the quantity expressions that we can use with? We can use many and how many with the count nouns. How many students are there in the classroom? However, with the non-count nouns, here we will use much. How much water do you drink every day? Also, with the count nouns, we can use a few. There are a few students in the class. I can't give a class. There are a few apples. We can eat them, however, I can't make an apple pie or a cake. However, for the non-count nouns, we will say a little. I have a little money. I can't buy a house or a car. If you want to tell that I'm having many and I'm having much, you can use a lot and lots of with both the count and the non-count nouns. Now let's try to complete these sentences. Free time do you have? Here we're speaking about time, which is a non-count noun. So it will be how much free time do you have? We're speaking about the time. I am usually busy just a little time, because here we're still speaking about time. The other one, glasses of water do you drink? Here we're not speaking about the water, we're counting the glasses. So how many glasses of water? How much water do you drink? However, for the glasses, how many glasses do you drink? Just a, I need to drink more. Just a few, maybe 2 or 3. I need to drink more. I need to go up to 5 to 7 glasses. Okay, these they are. On page 29, which was about form clauses with when, how do you feel when? I will show you here we're having the adjectives, and based on these adjectives and the question, you will choose the correct adjective. So, how do you feel when you're having a headache? I have a headache, a pain on my head. How does it feel? Does it feel good? I don't think so. It feels, we can tell that it feels terrible. It feels terrible. Not so good. It feels, maybe you will say nervous. I feel sick. How about how do you feel when you travel by the airplane? I am going to spend the whole month in another city. You are in the airplane. How would you feel? I will say, I feel excited. Maybe I feel nervous, anxious, worried. It depends on you. How would you feel when you need to say goodbye to a friend? When it is the last day of the school and you have to say goodbye to your friends? Do you feel happy? I will feel sad. I will feel maybe mad or unhappy. How about the other one? What do you do when now we're having actions. When you're having a toothache, what do you do when you're having a pain on your teeth? I will take a painkiller. Maybe you will say, I will make an appointment with the dentist. I will see a dentist, not a doctor, a specialized doctor. What do you do when you have rash? Itchy skin. Your skin itches. When you have a rash, I will use a cream, take a cold shower. It will be your action. How would you feel? What would you do when you have the flu? For me, I will stay in bed, relax. I won't go to school. Okay. For your favorite words, we're having a list on page 66. Choose 2 to 3 of these words and try to come up with the meaning and use them in a correct sentence. Let's try to use some of these. Choose the right explanation. When we say comfort food, what is it? Is it healthy or food that you eat to feel good? It is actually usually starch and carbohydrates, so it is the food that you eat to feel good. How about junk food? What does it contain? Vitamins or carbohydrates? We will say it consists of lots of carbohydrates. Food is bland. What do we mean by the idea of bland? It doesn't have much taste or have a strong taste. It tastes so good. I believe have no taste. Just remember bland like water. Something is achievable. I can achieve. Can be realized or can't be realized. Achievable, so can. I can realize it. How about condiments like ketchup and mayonnaise? Are they the main ingredients or additional ingredients? They are actually the additional ingredients to the dish, something you will add to the dish itself. Okay, if you still have any questions, you can read through the unit again one more time. Read the whole unit one more time for more explanation. Listen again to the audio material. Go back to the listening and the discussion. Listen one more time. Maybe you have missed something. If you still have a question, study the grammar and the form, meaning, and function if it is related to grammatical rules. And if you still have any question, always ask your teacher for help. They are always there for you. Okay? I guess that is it for the lesson today. And thank you so much for your time.